Install to Play has just landed on the GeForce Now, and there's been a lot of chat what's in the lineup, but here are 10 games we think are worth checking out, and it's ending on a classic. First up is Titan Souls. This came out in 2015 from indie dev Active Nerve and publisher Devolver Digital, and it's basically a love letter to games like Zelda and Shadow of the Colossus. The twist is you've only got one arrow. You can fire it, but then you have to recall it back, leaving yourself wide open to a boss who is charging you down. Every boss fight is a one hit to kill, either you or them. It sounds brutal, but that's where the magic is. You'll fail a lot, but when you finally nail that perfect shot, it's such a rush. Next up is Costume Quest 2. This one's from Double Fine, and it's a funny little RPG about saving Halloween from a time-travelling dentist. You wander through neighbourhoods, trick-or-treating, battling monsters, and finding new costumes. The cool twist is the costumes actually change how you fight. One minute you're dressed as a superhero, the next you are a giant candy corn. They also tightened up the combat from the first game, so it's faster and it has more variety. It's lighthearted, a bit daft, and that's exactly the charm. Next is the Turing Test, and if you're into puzzle games like Portal, this is right up your street. You play as Ava, an engineer sent to a research base in Europa, and things are immediately a bit off. The station's AI is guiding you along, but it quickly starts asking those big questions about what it means to be human. The puzzles themselves are clever. You're using an energy tool to move around, open doors and rewire rooms so you can push further into the base. It's slower, more thoughtful game, but it builds strong atmosphere, and the story keeps you guessing right to the end. Next up we have got Turmoil. It's a strategy sim set during the old oil rush. You're bidding for land, drilling rigs and trying to sell your oil at the best price before your rivals do it. On the surface it looks light and cartoony, but there's more to it than you expect, with upgrades, competition and balancing risk versus reward. I'll be honest, I only booted up the test installed to play and ended up getting carried away for much longer than planned. It's got that one more goal feel that sneaks up on you. Next we've got Evoland 1 and 2. These are such clever little RPGs because they're all about showing you how games have changed over time. The first one starts off super basic, black and white, barely any mechanics, and then every step you take unlocks something new like colour, sound or a whole new combat system. The sequel takes it even further, jumping completely between different genres. One moment it's a JRPG, the next it's a platformer, a shoot 'em up, even a fighter. They're full of little nods to classics like Zelda and Final Fantasy, and it is just great fun spotting how many references you recognise while the gameplay keeps switching things up. Next game is Gris. Lots of people will call this one of the most beautiful indie games ever made, and it really does look and sound incredible. The art and soundtrack are stunning. It's a side-scrolling adventure that tells its story without any dialogue, and all through visuals and music about a girl working through grief. I personally find it a bit slow and even a tad boring at times, but if you're into atmospheric games that are more about the experience than the challenge, it might really click with you. Deus Ex Game of the Year edition is our next game. Now this is a proper PC classic, the kind of game that's influenced about every cyberpunk RPG shooter since. You play as JC Denton, an agent enhanced with nanotech, and the fun is in how much freedom in the game gives you. You can sneak through fence, hack your way past security, or just go in guns blazing, and the story actually changes based on the choices you make. It may feel a bit clunky by today's standards, sure, but the ambition was massive for its time. If you've never played it, this is one of those games that people still talk about for a reason. Next up, we've got two of Telltale's Walking Dead games, Minashe, which I never say right, so make fun of it, and New Frontier. Minashe is a shorter side story that digs into a character from the comics, while New Frontier carries on Clementine's journey but shifts it onto her new lead, Xavier. Both have the tough choices and emotional punches you'll expect, and if you're a fan of the series, they are super solid ones to have on the list. We're going back to classics here, and the Turok series is here. The first 3 games are all here. These started back on the N64 back in the 90s and have been remastered for the PC. They're classic old school shooters, big maze levels, tons of weapons and plenty of dinosaurs to blow up along the way. The first one set the stage, the second, Seeds of Evil, is probably the fan favourite with more weapons and bigger levels. And then you've got Turok 3 rounding out the trilogy. They're definitely show their age in places, but if you're up for a blast of retro FPS action, also known as boomer shooters, there's a lot of fun to be had here. And to finish off, we've got one of the all-time greats, Knights of the Old Republic. BioWare's Star Wars RPG is still talked about today as one of the best in the genre. It's set thousands of years before the film, so you're not just rehashing the same story, you're carving out your own path. The big draw here is the choices: do you lean light or dark side, or somewhere in between? Your decisions shape the whole adventure, and the companions you pick along the way keep it fresh each playthrough. Even though it's over 20 years old, the writing and that famous story twist still hold up. There's a reason people call this one of the best Star Wars games ever made, and it's a perfect way to round off this list. And that's our first list of install to play games on GeForce Now. It won't be the last though, more games are being added all the time. So tell me, which games should I put in the next list? Drop your picks in the comments below and we'll put together another roundup soon. Thanks for watching, and if you want to more install to play actually works, check out our video linked here.